And I'm Nick Colucci. With Thanksgiving approaching, people are stocking up on all the traditional Thanksgiving foods.
It's Hamden residents, much like this one, that will have to deal with Quinnipiac's growing population in the coming years. And more college students may just mean more problems for this small town in Connecticut.
With Thanksgiving break next week, Quinnipiac University has released a shuttle schedule for this weekend to help students get home. That's right, guys. This Saturday night will feature a rematch that has been 7 months in the making. Researchers say it's estimated that there are currently over 1,400 internet gambling sites on the web. We are currently in day 10 of the government shutdown, but there may be some light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. Many students came out to support Quinnipiac's Typhoon Haiyan relief benefit Monday night. The men's hockey team will be one player down for the rest of the season, however, after Coach Rand Pecknold received big news this week. Absolutely, Ryan. That's a great story, coupled with so many other great stories we've heard this year.
Recent tragedies involving school violence have reignited debates around the country concerning safety in schools.
QNN's Nick Colucci has more.
Tragedy struck once again this past Tuesday as a 14-year-old Massachusetts student stabbed his 24-year-old math teacher to death after school hours. This event comes following Monday's incident when a Nevada middle schooler opened fire at his school, killing one teacher and wounding two 12-year-old classmates. These events have occurred almost a year after a gunman killed 26 people at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, leading students at Quinnipiac University to assess the security and safety of their own campus.
You feel safe on campus, you know. They're always around. They got the blue buttons around campus that if anything does happen, you can call. And, you know, a lot of people always have, you know, their good group of friends that they walk around with. So
here on campus, I feel very safe compared to like areas outside of campus like New Haven where, you know, stuff happens where it gets out of hand and people come back to campus saying that something bad happened to them.
I mean, I think the security is decent here. It's obviously not the best, but we have security at every entrance, so I think that's pretty good.
I feel safe here. It's pretty much a pretty enclosed community. They focus on public safety, even though we might not, you know, love, you know, the guys that work for public safety, but they're here for us and they put our safety first.
While most students feel secure day to day on campus, they are aware that incidents such as these can occur almost anywhere, and they say wider precautions need to be taken.
It starts in the home, I think. You know, this is a 14-year-old boy killing a 24-year-old teacher. It's like you wake up one day and you're going to go and kill your teacher, like what, because you got a C on a paper?
obviously stricter security. I know we have a pretty big strict security. We roll through the booth in the back here and it's cue card, maybe sometimes occasional check the cars.
I think people just need to be aware of how dangerous this is and how bad it is for our whole world that all of these things are happening. It's pretty ridiculous that people go into movie theaters and kill a bunch of people for no reason just because they think it's cool.
It's getting a little out of control, and I know they say more security could put caution to students or whatnot, saying that they might not be safe in general. But in the end, I think it's going to be more beneficial to them.
Since 2008, there have been 10 incidents involving school violence. No matter what level of schooling students are in, the most they could do to protect themselves is to always be aware of their surroundings. In Hamden, Nick Colucci, QNN.
But at least things will be heating up at the TD Bank Sports Center.
Let's head over to Nick to hear what's going on.
That's right, guys. This Saturday night will feature a rematch that has been 7 months in the making when Quinnipiac's men's hockey team hosts the reigning national champion Yale Bulldogs at the TD Bank Sports Center. The last time the two teams met up was in last year's national championship game in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where Yale upset the #1 ranked Bobcats 4-0. Quinnipiac is currently ranked 5th in the nation with a record of 8-1, while Yale, at 2-1-1 on the year, is ranked 9th. The game will air live at 7 o'clock from High Point Solutions Arena on Fox College Sports Atlantic and WCCT 20 on campus and in the local area. The men's hockey team will be one player down for the rest of the season, however, after Coach Rand Pecknold received big news this week. Freshman forward Peter Quenneville announced this Tuesday that he is leaving Quinnipiac to join the Brandon Wheat Kings of the Western Hockey League. Quenneville missed the last 4 games due to an injury, but had 4 assists in 5 games with the Bobcats. The 19-year-old was a 7th-round draft pick out of the Columbus Blue Jackets and will be joining his younger brother John on the Wheat Kings. While some teams are focusing on the regular season, others are eyeing the playoffs, specifically the men's soccer and women's field hockey teams. The men's soccer team will start their quest for their first MAC championship on Friday, November 15th. The Bobcats are 7-1-2 in their last 10 games and will enter the tournament as either the second or third seed, depending on their last game against Ryder on Saturday. And from one field to the other, QU's field hockey team will take on Bryant in the championship semifinals of the MAC tournament this Friday. The number 2 seed Bobcats will look to move on to the finals against the winner of Ryder and Robert Morris. And finally, the big story in the national spotlight is the fallout in Miami following the news that Dolphins offensive lineman Richie Incognito sent voicemail and text messages to teammate Jonathan Martin riddled with racial slurs and profane language. Martin left the team last week for unknown reasons before the news was released. Incognito was suspended indefinitely by the Dolphins on Sunday night for conduct detrimental to the team. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has appointed Ted Wells to conduct an investigation of the Dolphins' workplace issues. Most recently, fellow Dolphins players have backed up Incognito, and it is speculated Miami coaches may have known about what was going on. So just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for the 4-4 Miami Dolphins, this distraction comes along and might just be big enough to cost them playoff contention. Guys, what do you think about that?
Besides going to parties, attending sporting events, and, heaven forbid, studying, one of the more popular and lucrative activities students are participating in is gambling.
Well, during college, I've been a part of a lot of on-campus poker games with friends. I've also recently been to Foxwoods and Mohegan twice, so I do a lot of gambling there.
I've done some sports gambling and some gambling at the casino.
I'd say it's because most college students are always looking for ways to make money because they're always looking for more money to go out and party. And gambling is a really seemingly easy way to make a lot of money really fast, when in reality you usually lose a lot of money really fast.
Gambling is not limited to Las Vegas or Atlantic City anymore. Connecticut has 2 high-profile casinos in the Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods casinos, both just a short drive from Quinnipiac University. But gambling is made even easier in the 21st century, with technology bringing the world of online gambling to anyone with a computer screen.
And all the online poker sites, those are 90% of them are offshore, and they're not legal. So all these accounts that your money's going into is not here in the States. It's overseas. You don't know who you're betting against, and it's not a trusted venue that you know you're going to get your money. And there's really no recourse of action. What happens if they don't pay you?
Researchers say it's estimated that there are currently over 1,400 internet gambling sites on the web. And according to Oregon State University, about 85% of all college students have participated in gambling in some form, with 10 to 14% of those students at risk of developing a gambling problem.
So you can know a really nice college student who was out having a good time with you all the time and then got hooked on this. And then you're like calling your friend and saying, "What's up? You coming out?" No, they're in front of the computers. They're down at Atlantic City.
So whether it's taking a trip to a casino, calling a bookie and placing a bet, or just logging into a gambling website account, students have found a quick way to make a buck, while possibly failing to realize the gambles they are making on their futures.
So, the bottom line is we need to find out what's going on with these kids. Why are they doing it? But addiction is a vicious cycle, and it doesn't stop, just like anything else.
There's a point where it's not fun anymore, and it becomes serious, and when you separate the fun from it, that's when you gotta stop.
In Hamden, Nick Colucci, QNN.